got it right. When they said, endowed by their Creator. Endowed by your Creator with certain unalienable rights. That among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And when they said, among these, I believe they were thinking about some others. I also believe that they were talking about the unalienable rights to protect yourself, to protect your family, and to protect your property. We call it the Second Amendment to the Constitution. That's another unalienable right. That just means that we have to be the defending fathers. Y'all notice I keep moving around up here because, you know, I don't do well with podiums or teleprompters. That's how we're going to save some money to cut the debt. I won't have a fleet of teleprompters when I'm president. We have become a nation of crises. A nation of crises. We've got an economic crisis. We've got a spending crisis. We've got an energy crisis. We've got an illegal immigration crisis. With the Justice Department suing Alabama or Arizona. If the federal government were doing its job, Alabama wouldn't have had to pass this law. We've got a foggy foreign policy crisis. We've got a moral crisis. And the biggest crisis we have is a severe deficiency of leadership in the White House. But the good news is, we can take this nation back. We can take it back because we can fix our crises. We can fix these problems. That's what I've done all my career. Fix stuff. When was the last time they fixed anything in Washington, D.C.? Time's up. They talk about it a lot. They debate about it a lot. But they don't fix a lot of stuff. That's why we need a problem solver, a businessman in the White House. I have been accused of not having any foreign policy experience. And the guy there now does. But I do have, like most leaders, a foreign policy philosophy, and it is an extension of Reagan's philosophy, peace through strength. And here's the Cain philosophy for foreign policy. Peace through strength and clarity. We must clarify who our friends are, clarify who our enemies are, and stop giving money to the enemies. And the reason we need to clarify who our friends are is so we can tell the rest of the world who our friends are, and that we're going to stand with our friends, and there will be no ambiguity about it. I want our confident God to know we're going to stand with Israel. Foreign policy experience. I'm talking to a lot of foreign policy experts. I know how to go to the right people. Talk to the people who have the experience and the expertise. My job is to listen to the people that know more about it than I do and then make an informed judgment. And I also have what I call foreign policy common sense. For example, the president has announced that they're going to pull the troops out of Iraq. I don't agree with that decision because he didn't listen to the commanders on the ground. He didn't listen to the commanders on the ground relative to Afghanistan. And then not only that, when he announced that he was going to pull the troops out of Iraq, he told the enemy what we were going to do and when we were going to do it. That doesn't make any sense. So once we clarify who our friends and our enemies are, then we can clarify how we send our men and women into harm's way. We must be clear on what the mission is. We must be clear on what the definition of victory is. Because the commitment I make to you as president is that I will never send our men and women into harm's way unless it is clear what the mission is, clear what the definition of victory is. And if I will not send my son or daughter into that war, I won't send your son or daughter. Biggest domestic crisis is this economy is on life support. It's on life support because this administration does not realize one very fundamental principle of economics, and that is that the engine of economic growth is the business sector, not the government. $1 trillion in spending is like putting it in the caboose and expecting it to push the engine up the train. $1 trillion didn't work. Now the president wants to spend another $450 billion. More of the same. It didn't work then. It's not going to work this time. All it's going to do is spend more money. And he wants to raise $1 billion to buy a second term and think you're stupid enough to believe that spending is going to save this country. No, we're not. People are upset. That's why people are frustrated. And so, being a businessman, we developed a bold solution to deal with the economy. And it starts with throw out the current tax code. My opponents in this primary race, they've all come up with plans that still tie to the old broken tax code. That's because they're politicians. They don't want to let go of the tax code because that's how they try to manipulate us, micromanage us. They want to choose winners and losers. I believe in letting the free market choose winners and losers. So we throw sales tax. It replaces 5 taxes. It replaces the corporate income tax. It replaces the personal income tax. It replaces the capital gains tax. It replaces the death tax, and it replaces the payroll tax, all with 999. My team and I started to put this together. We had a few simple requirements that we wanted it to satisfy. We wanted it to be simple, 999. Pretty simple. We wanted it to be transparent. There are no hidden lines. We wanted it to be efficient. We spend $430 billion a year to file and comply with the tax code, which is a huge waste of money. For $999, we need to fill out the income tax return on one sheet of paper front and back. And we wanted it to be fair. That's right. Not fair according to Washington's definition, but fair according to Webster's definition, which means we all get treated the same. And let me tell you what has the liberals and the media so upset about 999. My opponents have tried to poke holes in it. Don't know if y'all saw those bullet wounds in my back from the last debate. I ain't never felt so good when they were shooting at me like today. Never felt so good, man. So here's one of the biggest reasons that the establishment doesn't like it, the lobbyists don't like it, the liberals don't like it, because you get it, you understand it, and you love it, and they hate that. And make it seem as if only the political elite is smart enough to know what's good for you and me. But let me tell you what the American people are saying. The American people across this country are saying, the people know best what's good for the people, not the politicians. Energy independence strategy within a couple of weeks. We've got the resources to become energy independent. All we got to do is have the leadership. We need to bring about an attitude of adjustment to the EPA so we can. I had somebody in Washington, D.C. I was calling them about energy independence. It's already been documented. We got to think oil, coal, shale oil, natural gas. And we're going to become energy independent. Then I had a skeptic in D.C. said, well, you can't do that. You can't do that. I'm going to be president. Why can't we become energy independent? Well, the EPA won't let you do it. I said, let me get this straight. Do they work for us, or do we work for them? I got news for them. They work for us. The United States of America has been the leader in the space program ever since the 1960s. When John F. Kennedy, great leader, he had the vision to say that by the end of the decade of the 60s, we will walk on the moon. He didn't say might. He didn't say maybe. He didn't say let's take a poll. He said we will. And it inspired this entire nation to make it happen. And it did. And now this president has cut our space program to the point where we now have to farm a ride with the Russians in order to get to outer space. That's not what the United States want to happen. We are used to being a leader in the space program, and as president, we are going to be a leader in the space program